As an intro, here's a quick clip from the barbershop.
Man, it seems like surgery. You know, life-saving surgery. And then you have a concept of who it is that's going to have the scalpel and save your life, and you get rolled in with your fragile self. And lo and behold, it's a little woman. They're doing surgery. There are men that believe that their life is in peril because of that. Well, better yet, let me put it like this. You've worked your entire life. You know, you've got all this, you've got this money that you've saved up and you invest in this one particular company. And then after you do that, this company decides to hire a woman as a CEO. Are you confident under her leadership? With your money? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. Well, better yet, let's say there's a woman running for high office, right? She's qualified, but yet her opponent is a man that looks like you, has an attitude like you, but hasn't qualified in any of it, hasn't checked any of the boxes. What kind of hurdles does she have to surmount in order to get your vote? What I'm trying to explain to you, brothers, is that women have been putting up with a biased world that's completely beyond our mind. You know, you can't just measure everything according to your own experience. See, but I'm a man, you're a man, you know, and as a man, I've never been demeaned because I'm a man. Women have. You know, brother, I have never been doubted for my intelligence or my abilities because I'm a man. Women have. Well, try this one out, bro. Have you ever walked down the street, you know, afraid for your security, walking by a group of the opposite sex? I haven't. But that's a reality for women, man. That's a reality for women. But for us, what's the message that we get? Oh, bro, you're a leader. You know, you're really standing up. You're a leader. Take the floor. Lead, and everybody else will follow. Right? You're a leader. You're a man. Never mind the fact that in order to be a man, you first must qualify to be a leader. Pardon me. In order for you to be a leader, you must qualify to be a leader. Those qualifications are things such as patience, confidence, vision, people skills, all of which are gender neutral. Any woman or man may or may not possess those characteristics, qualifying them or disqualifying them to be a leader. We so conveniently overlook that. And never mind the fact that at some point in time in every woman and man's life, you're going to have to take on the role of a leader, as well as a follower. That's just the cycle of life. But here we are as men, thinking that it is our duty to go ahead and just usher in half of humanity to just follow along as if they're just puppets. You know? Brother, I'm not saying that we hate women. I'm not saying we're misogynistic or anything like that. But it doesn't require you to hate women in order to be perfectly at peace with the status quo as it is right now. You know? Bruh, we were born into society's privileged side. Now, before you take any credit on that, bruh, to think that it's automatic like that, you're in bad company. And what company is that? That of an oppressor. If history is any teacher, it would teach us that it's common for all oppressive groups to think like that. Not seeing that subjugating somebody, disadvantaging somebody only contributes to a perceived greatness, not the actual thing. So you living in an illusion. Are you satisfied with that? See, I'm not saying we haven't been through anything. I'm aware of the fact that we've been through hardships. I know for a fact that you know specifically what injustice is as we fight against unjust systems. Right? We struggle against that. But none of that was because you're a man. None of that was because, let me drive it home like this. After you've completely ruined things, and perhaps even come to prison,
appreciation. First, I want to thank the administration for giving us the opportunity to do this. Please give them a round of applause. Next, I have to thank the Education Department as well as the Chaplain Service for giving us all the practice we need in order to pull this off. Please give them a round of applause. And last but not least, I want to thank all of you who left the dormitory to come out right now and support us in a positive cause. So please give yourselves a round of applause. Today our concept is a time for change. Now, in order for us to pull this theme off, I'm going to need y'all help. And it's real simple. Every time I say a time, I need y'all to say for change. Can y'all handle that? Yeah. Let's give it a sample. I said a time for change. All right, like y'all like that too. I say this is a time for change. What I'm about to discuss with you is very serious. Now I know y'all came out here to be entertained. I promise you, we got you. But in order to change, you gotta change the way you think. And the only way to change the way you think, you gotta be educated. And so we come not just to entertain you, but to give you some education. So listen real carefully to what I'm about to share with you. Today we're here to honor as well as celebrate Women's History Month. And not any kind of woman, but women from every community in all forms of media and storytelling who have dedicated their lives and talent to pursuing the truth, producing art, and reflecting the human condition decade after decade. Now the real question is, who decided to preserve women's history in the first place? History tells us that its roots go way back to March 8th, 1857. Where a group of women that worked in various New York City factories, they staged a protest about poor working conditions. Because they really believed that it was a time for change. Their efforts spearheaded the first universal women's suffrage movement that also took place in New York City. It happened February 28, 1909, the last day of Black History Month. Through those strong efforts, 2 years later, on March 8, 1911, remember that day, because International Women's Day was established. It was established to celebrate social, economic, cultural, and political achievements for women all over the world. Sadly, after this historical event, Women's History Day had been forgotten. But women never gave up trying to preserve and push forward their history. And it wasn't until the late 60s that an activist arose. And her name was Laura X. If you haven't taken any time to learn about Laura X, you're doing yourself a disservice. Because Laura X was a phenomenal woman. And she really believed that it was a time for change. She staged a march in California. And she felt it was unfair for half of the human race, talking about women, to only receive 1 day out of the year to celebrate. So she pushed for National Women's History Month. Her efforts were so strong. And she supported the Women's History Research Center. How did you know? Did you even know they had a research center? Let me tell you about this research center. This Women's History Research Center contains over 1 billion documents saved on microfilm. It provides resources and records of women's liberation movements all over the world. See, Laura X was such a great advocate for women's history that her efforts never went unnoticed. In March 1978, another activist activist arose. Her name was Gerda Lerner. And Miss Lerner is credited for taking Women's History Day and making it Women's History Week. Her efforts were so strong that in 1980, President Jimmy Carter recognized Women's History Week for the first time in the United States of America. President Carter made this statement, and I quote, he said, "From the first people that came to our shores, from the American Indian families who befriended them, women and men have worked together to build this nation. But too often, the women's voices went unheard. Their contributions went unnoticed. But not today. Today, we're going to celebrate their achievements, their leadership, their courage, and the love that they had to build this nation. And their names are just as vital as the names of the men that we all well know. Women like Susan B. Anthony, Lucy Stone, Alice Paul, Maya Angelou, Sojourner Truth, Rosa Parks, Maxine Ward, and the list go on and on and on. All these women believe that it was a time
For change.
the efforts were so strong that Congress in 1987 passed a law designating March as Women's History Month. In conclusion, what I'm about to tell you, please pay attention. This month is about celebrating women's achievements and discussing the continuing and emerging women empowerment and gender issues, cultural challenges, and their commitments. This month is to inspire young girls all over the world with courage, self-esteem, and the willpower to follow in our ancestors' footsteps. It is to inspire the current and the future generations to emulate the women who have laid the framework for us to succeed, to be treated equitably, and to be recognized in this society. So with no further ado, let us please give a serious, warm welcome up for Women's History Month, man. Now, the moment y'all all been waiting for. Are y'all ready for this stage play of time?
For change.
Change is certainty. And there's nothing you can do about it because it will happen. Life bear witness to that. When I wrote A Time for Change, man, I was a young boy. And I kept falling into the same pit holes over and over again. But then I started to realize that there was young guys around me falling into the same pit holes. Right then, I knew there was a time for change. So you will be entertained. You're going to laugh. Oh yeah, you're going to laugh. You're going to be able to think. You're going to be able to relate. But most importantly, you will enjoy the stage play. A time
For change.
with no further ado, it is my pleasure and it is my honor to introduce this next individual. He was the one who got this thing started in the first place. He went to administration, he got it approved, then he called in the Time for Change casting. And I gotta tell you, man, we had some good days, we had some bad days. With hard work and determination, we are still here in front of you today. So let us please give a warm welcome for none other than the brother, Keith Milton.
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank Stanley for giving me the opportunity to open this up. The inspiration to write this poem came from a feeling I had. Steps. I was found in a dark place, broken in despair, wondering do God really care? Have you ever been there? Have you been visited by the thoughts of suicide and consider it as an option? Do you look back at your life and find your past as a shameful sight? And your promises as ropes of sand that's always broken? There's hope. Just listen, learn, and focus. The homeless man stood on the corner, eyes to the heaven begging for change. His hands stretched wide without any shame. Change, 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 the poor man screamed. Crippled by his eyes, humbled by his needs. Strangers passed him by. Some even dropped some change. But the more they gave, the louder he screamed. Change, 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 he desperately cried. Without picking up a coin, his hands still stretched to the sky. A curious observer asked the poor man, I don't understand, the floors full of corn, stick them up and go eat. The beggar replied, this is not the change that I need. See, we change jobs, stories, shoes, and cars. But the true change we need is that of the heart. And once the heart is changed, murder, misery, the love of money will be put in the grave. Hard head, trouble, and chaos will have no place, which will lead upright to rule instead. Change isn't easy, but one must stay consistent. Renew of the mind from that which was resisted. Change can't be good, neither is it man given. Only God can change us if we are willing. And yes, my fellow men, God does care. And if there is a change in business, which we all need his help. Now, this is not a religious moment. It's just a plain out truth. So today I wanted to present Time to Change to you.
afraid of. The problem is you can't stop because I'm destined to come. And I'll continue to come to you as long as you're alive. But as long as you continue to reject me, you can always remain in the same condition that you're in right now. My name is Church. Today, I'll be your narrator. Now this story, this is my story. It's your story. It's how we all got here to prison. But this story, played out on this live stage performance today, takes place in the heart of the ghetto. And it's dealing with 4 friends. They all grew up together. One of them went to prison. And just recently he got out with this mentality. It's time for a change. Now, Upright just got out of prison and he returns to his old hood only to find the same old people on the same old block doing the same old thing. As he approaches the corner watching and listening, these guys are so caught up in what they got going on, they didn't even notice their best friend was home.